Hi, this is Cheryl Gallant, your Conservative Member of Parliament for the corruption-condemning riding of Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke. The House of Commons has been paralyzed by Liberal corruption. The lower chamber has been debating the motion of privilege directing the Liberals to provide uncut documents on Sustainable Development Technologies Canada, or SDTC. The facts are clear and well established. The former president of SDTC told this government that appointing a person who had received money from SDTC to be chair of the board was a bad idea. The government ignored the advice and appointed the Liberal donor anyhow. Then, to absolutely no one's surprise, the board started handing out grants to companies board members themselves had stakes in. Naturally, the employees at SDTC started to feel uncomfortable with the actions of the board. It is precisely the same game being played out with the Local Journalism Initiative. The Liberals gave money to a group of people who are giving that money to their own companies. For the legacy media, SDTC was a scandal, but no other outlet other than Blacklock's reporter has ever mentioned the Local Journalism Initiative scandal. It's the incestuous media slush fund. The bottom line is Canadians do not trust the NDP Liberal government. The NDP are still working to keep Justin Trudeau and his self-serving ministers in office. The House of Commons is in a similar set of circumstances which we were in the spring of 2021, when the former Speaker, Anthony Rota, had ordered the government to produce documents to shed light on the scandal at the Level 4 lab in Winnipeg. That battle ended with the government suing the Speaker and an election being called. The vaccine mandates that Trudeau had said he would not impose upon Canadians in the spring became law after he won the COVID election a few months later in the fall. Letter carriers, PSWs, nurses, doctors, military members were banned from working unless they submitted to the experimental shots. We're at these crossroads again. This time, perhaps, voters will remember being lied to and avoid being sucked into Trudeau's desperate promises. There will be a few bonuses to having a carbon tax election sooner than later. A number of freedom-destroying bills are lurching towards becoming the law of the land. Take the bill to allow the government to order all livestock herds and poultry flocks to be destroyed. That one comes via a private member's bill from a left-wing radical in Trudeau's benches. It's already at second reading in the Senate. Recently, it received some attention when Dr. Sylvain Charlebois, a Dalhousie professor on agriculture, wrote an op-ed for the Farmers Forum. Dr. Charlebois, known for his popular podcast, The Food Professor, was stunned when he read the bill. While much of what he wrote in his op-ed about the bill is accurate, there was one error. First, he's right that this bill would allow the Minister of Health to shut down any form of livestock farming. We're not talking about shutting down a livestock farm. We're talking about shutting down all livestock farms. Under this bill, the next time a bird flu begins to circulate, the Liberals could ban chicken farming altogether. The next time we have a swine flu, maybe the last time you'll ever eat bacon. Imagine a world without Canadian bacon. What the food professor got wrong was when he said the bill would force Canadians to adopt a vegan lifestyle. The bill is clear. The health minister and agriculture minister would promote alternative proteins. It's understandable that even the food professor would think that alternative proteins means vegetable-based proteins. When the far left say alternative proteins, it includes vegetable-based protein. I can't even say it. But it also includes insects. The radical far left liberals were only talking about vegetable proteins. Did you cut? I think I got a bug caught in my throat. But if the Liberals were only talking about vegetable proteins, they would have said that. No one is opposed to eating beans. Beans aren't controversial. Beans don't need code words like alternative proteins. No one wants to eat bugs, at least not on purpose. That is why bugs need code words. And you're going to hear a lot more of these types of code words for eating bugs in the future. The high priests in the Church of Climate Socialism won't tell Canadians the truth. The only way to reach net zero is to shut down large-scale farming. The kind of farming that's currently feeding 8 billion people. The far left know the only way they can reach net zero and not starve humanity is by serving up bugs. None of this is hidden information. It's not a secret plot. Regardless, the far left media and the Liberals will attack anyone who warns Canadians about the radical net zero agenda. That's why Trudeau is pushing Bill C-63. That's the Censorship Act. Now the far left want to make it illegal to complain about Catholic churches being burned down. Now, how long will it be before they make denying we need to get to net zero a crime? If you criticize anyone risking hurting someone's feelings online, you may be thrown in prison with a sentence that's longer than those given to rapists and murderers. It's still at second reading in the House of Commons. Call your friends and your families in Liberal-held ridings and tell them to call their MP. We have to speak out against Trudeau's radical far-left Marxist agenda. On a happy note, school buses are running again, and none too soon. The price of gas shot up last week. So in addition to lost wages for time off work to drive kids to and from school, parents had to award Trudeau a carbon tax windfall. Families are spared for now, but unless we get rid of this government through a carbon tax election, the worst is yet to come. Trudeau's Soviet-style electric vehicle mandate will soon start having its impact as buses are shifted out of operation. Now, electric buses cannot make it up some hills in the Ottawa Valley or in the snow, nor can they negotiate side roads in the country. Even if they could work, the price of electric school buses are already far beyond the reach of local bus companies. Buses have gone up from $95,000 5 years ago to $117,000 today. Presently, electric school buses cost around $700,000 apiece. If the internet ever reaches rural homes in Renfrew County, most children who live outside town will be condemned to online learning. Thanks, Justin. Live from Ottawa, this is Cheryl Gallant.